Hi everybody, Damien here again from Integrity. Today we're going to talk about how to avoid tenants from hell. One of the big reasons people don't invest in property is because they watch too much Today Tonight and The Current Affair, and they think that the moment they buy an investment property, they're going to get those tenants from hell that are going to move in with their 20 dogs and 15 cats and their pet chickens, and they're going to trash the place and then nick off without paying any rent. So we're going to talk about how to avoid that today. We're going to talk about the two qualities that tenants from hell have and how to stay away from them, what part of the market to buy to avoid tenants from hell. We're going to talk about what makes a good property manager. They're a real important part of avoiding tenants from hell, and also talk a little bit about landlord's insurance. So let's go. Right, first of all, the two qualities of a tenant from hell. Tenants from hell have two qualities. First, that is, they have a lack of respect for authority and they have a lack of respect for other people's possessions, namely your investment property that they are living in. Now, think about it. If people have those sorts of qualities, what sort of career success do you think they have, and therefore, how much of their pay packet would they really be bringing home every day? So I'm very careful what I say here. Poor people are not necessarily bad tenants. Of course, the majority of poor people are good people, but bad tenants are almost always poor people. So if you stay away from the low end of the market, you'll stay away from the majority of bad tenants. Now, second point, get yourself a good rental manager. Let's talk about that. Okay, I have a few questions that I ask a property manager when I'm interviewing them to manage my property. First question is this: how many properties do they have under management? Now, most property managers will like to brag about how many properties they've got under management. So you'll always ask that question first so that they will tell you the truth. Then the next question you ask them really quickly is, how many staff do they have working in their rental management department? Before they know it, they will have told you the answer to both, and you will very quickly be able to work out what their ratio is between number of staff for each person, how many properties got to manage. Think about what a rental manager has to do. They should do, at the very least, a rental inspection every 6 months. And when they do that inspection, they should be taking photos and they should be reporting everything in detail to you, the landlord of the property. Now, if they are overworked, they're going to cut corners on their rental inspections and they're not going to do all the things they should do. I say to people, if you work on about 150 per rental manager is about right. Any more than that, you're starting to get into dangerous territory. Any more than 250, run in the other direction. Now, the third question that I ask them, though, is an important one too, is how many properties do they own themselves? Now, be very, very careful of the young 18-year-old, 18, 19, 20-year-old rental manager, because remember when we were all that age, we all resented authority and resented the man and thought that rich people had too much money, and often young rental managers will be renters themselves and therefore be sympathetic to other renters. It's only another landlord who truly understands what a landlord requires and values that asset and understands that you've worked very hard to get to that point and you need someone to look after it. So always ask the senior rental manager at the very least how many properties they own and do they own some in the local area. Really, really important and valuable question to ask them. If they don't, go elsewhere. Back to the subject. How to avoid tenants from hell. Good rental managers will screen your tenants and make sure you don't get a bad tenant from hell. Final point is, we've talked about the prevention measures. Stay away from the low end of the market. Get a good property manager. But there is, if you can't avoid it, then you just make sure you've got landlord insurance. You can get a good landlord insurance policy for about $500 a year, and that will cover you for malicious damages and things like that. But check, of course, the writing for your individual policy and make sure that it's got all the things you need. Okay, that's all for me today. Good luck investing. Don't let a fear of tenants from hell stop you from investing in property. There's lots and lots of money to be made from investing in property, and at the end of the day, a tenant from hell will only do so much damage. If you do hit one, there's plenty of things you can do to avoid them. I've never had one. I don't plan on having one, but I won't say it won't happen. If it does happen, I've got my landlord's insurance, and I'm sure I've made plenty of money. Then they'll be able to do any damage. So Till next time, happy property investing. Don't forget, if you need any help with education, coaching or mentoring, go to propertyinvestmentmentor.com.au. That's what we do there. And if you don't need that sort of help and you just want a really good investment property that's been researched thoroughly, it's in a great location and it's a great property, go to integrityproperty.com.au. That's what we do for you there. Until next time, that's all from me.